Hello everybody, GameOS007 here. I'm here for Ninjago fights that can happen on Death Battle. The only problem is that, really, Legos are hard to do in Death Battle. The only way it could really look good is just if it's a Lego going against another Lego character, or if it's, you know, a Bionicle, or if they do that weird thing and make them just smooth in a cartoony style. But most of them can either work as hand-drawn or, you know, 3D animated. But starting off, I'll get the easiest one out of the way. The whole team can fight the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and whoever they want to throw in with to add on to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, more than 4 members, compared to the ninjas. At least 5. But starting off with just the ninjas alone, Kai can either fight Scorpion or Randy Cunningham. I like the connection between Scorpion and Kai because they're ninjas fighting for their family. Both are generally good, but they have moments where they have done evil things to help themselves in their own predicament. And Randy Cunningham is an opponent for Kai. I don't know the connections, I don't know the strength of Randy, but if I heard correctly, he's around, at least, like, around multi-city block. I've heard maybe city level, but I don't remember where. I don't know speed either. Kai probably beats both, because from what I've seen, they're light speed, like, relativistic to FTL speeds, but, like, very low FTL speeds, and at least city level for the several storms that the characters make. Next up is Samukai, the first basically villain in Ninjago. I have Skullduggery Pleasant, a character I know nothing about. Gonna buy his books. I like it because skeleton. Or Sir Daniel Fortescue. Both of them have the connection of, well, being heroes on a battlefield, dying, being skeletons. And they both wake up in a museum where they go and fight the person who killed them. Which Samukai was for Jay, even though Jay didn't really do anything to Samukai. And Sir Daniel Fortescue fighting against the one magic guy who had his archer shoot him. For Sensei Wu, I have Intruvius, 2 Lego Masters helping a character who went from zero to being the strongest in their universe, respectively. Both pretty much die trying to help the students. Wu pretty much almost died to Crux and Acronics before he saved himself because of time. Thanks for the tip. I'm gonna use that joke later. And Vitruvius dying to help Emmett when he was trying to help Emmett out of the whole situation with Lord Business. Shifu I also have in there because old, wise, and same as Splinter for the same reason. I like Vitruvius more. These next 3 thumbnails were made by Zdogg. He's awesome. Oh, and before I mention, Wu probably beats all 3 of them. Maybe not Vitruvius. I don't know how Emmett's scaling works yet. And it depends on basically Splinter. What Splinter they use. The next one's Zdogg made, Kruncha and Nuckal versus either Bebop and Rocksteady. I like the fight between those two because they're dumb like talking characters. They're kind of not that bright, but they do work very well as a team sometimes. I like the idea of them fighting each other while they're fighting their opponents. Griffin Simmons, because I like the idea of Griffin Simmons fighting skeletons. Shut up. I was running out of ideas. And Scratch and Grounder, which I like more because it can work really well together. Kruncha isn't as dumb as Nuckal, as Scratch isn't as dumb as Grounder. I can imagine two running into each other, breaking apart, and then fixing each other, but they're all broken and meshed together. That'd be funny. Kruncha and Nuckal probably beat Bebop or Rocksteady, depending on the version. I'm not sure about Scratch and Grounder, and Griffin Simmons, Nene on them hard. Zane can fight Sub-Zero. I do like Cyber Sub-Zero because of the ice stuff. And they're both ninjas who, if we're using Cyber Sub-Zero, were human but then were robots. Sub-Zero fights for his clan, while Zane fights for his father and his ninja friends, I guess. Whatever works, I guess. And then I have Elsa, but Elsa works for a different Zane fight, which I'll get to later. But here's the thumbnail for Zane versus Elsa. For the fight, probably Zane destroys both of them. I'm not sure how strong Elsa gets. I know the castle feat's big, but I don't think it's at least city level big. Next is Jay versus Black Star. They're both loud ninjas who really aren't that stealthy, but overall they still are good, have really good intentions. And I'm pretty sure Black Star has some electrical kind of attack. I think from what I heard, Black Star takes this one because speed's ridiculous. I think strength's higher than City, or at least is around City. Cold versus Tremor, yada yada yada, Ninja Earth people, Tremor probably gets an 8 on. One that I like for Nia is either Katara or Juvia Lockster. Katara, just because they're people who control water, ice, that stuff, and hang around with with basically the guy who holds all 4 of the major elements. And Juvia because water. I'm not sure how Juvia gets in fairy tale scaling, so I'm not gonna touch that. And Katara gets slapped hard. Lord Garmadon was hard. It can either be the obvious Skeletor or Lord Zed. But I like Master Xandred, dark evil people living in their own underworld, only coming out to fight the main ninjas slash samurai. I think it'd look really cool. Master Xandred growing huge at the final battles. Lord Garmadon uses telekinesis to make that big stone mech he does in season, 12. Not 12, 10. Fighting, either ending with Master Xandred dying in a Power Rangers explosion or Garmadon, I don't know, being vored or something, crushed. For the first Spinjitzu Master, I have him against Mirak. The first Spinjitzu Master, first Dragonborn, good enough for me. I think on a glance, you can at least get them both to universal and immeasurable speed. But I think Mirak wins because I know Elder Scrolls scaling gets stupid high, and if they are the same level of strength, Mirak has the hacks to just nail the first Spinjitzu Master, so rip. Lloyd, I have this chart here that shows my fights ideas for him. Lloyd versus Krager is my favorite just because they're both Lego people. They started off as villains because of their father's intentions, but then they subtly turn good to help the heroes out. Both are manipulated several times to being evil, either by they become evil through the snake's influence or Krager's sister. And yeah, another character that should be Ed but wasn't because the person who made this didn't think of him was Poe. I'm not gonna say who wins either because I'm doing Krager and someone's doing Poe for Lloyd. The Great Devourer. I like the idea of the Phoenix Force because they're both evil entities that make a pretty much good character into bad, Garmadon and Jean Grey, and still keep with them their powers. Garmadon's still evil after Great Devourer's defeat and death, and Jean Grey still has some Phoenix Force powers after the Phoenix Force stops touching and being a part of her. There's also the Eater of Worlds, which is basically they're big snakes that eat things. For Captain Soto, actually for the Great Devourer, the Phoenix Force probably the Phoenix Force most definitely destroys, and I don't know about the Terraria scaling, so okay. Just for idea, the Great Devourer towers over is like the third strongest in the universe besides anyone that isn't, Lloyd or anyone who gets to the good first Ninjago Master scaling. He's the strongest then. But so, Captain Soto, he's a pirate who was a minor villain, then a major villain, and he's one of my favorite side villains. His crew can either fight Blackbeard's crew from Assassin's Creed, which they're big pirates. Captain Soto and his crew yeet. But on the other hand, Straw Hat Pirates, where Captain Soto and his crew get yeeted. I like both. I could see Blackbeard's pirates crew being more likely. The Overlord in his normal dark and physical forms, I could see him fighting the darkness from Skylanders. Both are universal plus, but I'm pretty sure Skylanders doesn't get the immeasurable speed like the Overlord does. And the Anti-Spiral, where the Anti-Spiral looks at Ninjago and destroys it infinitely. Or HAL 9000 in his robot form, where I don't care who wins. Master Shen, he's basically Chainsaw. Takes people's powers when they're defeated. Chainsaw takes their soul. He literally takes their power. Runs a tournament full of martial artists with a variety of different abilities. And yeah. For his daughter Skylar, I have Shiba Tensu. Go fuck yourself. Dareth versus Mr. Satan is a good fight of mine. I'm doing it, so I'm not going to tell you who wins. And I like, because they're both martial artists, they're both goofy, and even though they suck, they have won several fights and do have trophies and awards to their name. For Moro, I have Kai from Kung Fu Panda. Both are mentors of an old master. Moro was a teacher to Wu. Or Moro was a student to Wu, and Kai was a student to Oogway and Shifu. Both died and used their ghostly powers to take revenge on the newer generation of students that they teach. Though Moro does have more of a hero turn in The Day of the Departed, but that doesn't. Shut up. If Kai gets into the universal scale, which I'm still iffy on for the most part, but if he does get into the universal scaling, goodbye Moro. If not, Moro probably nays. Not the Overlord, Nodokan. Nodokan the Djinn. I haven't against Timmy Turner because Wish Granting. I don't know how good Fairy Light Planet scaling gets. But Nodokan does beat basically the ninjas easily, and his Wish Granting can be used to hurt people. The Genie from Aladdin, because Genie, wishing, all that stuff. But I do like Jafar in his Genie form, because I think it would work a lot better. The two play off each other greatly. And yeah, I don't care who wins at that point. Crux and Acronics, the people who are known for time, huh? Thanks for the tip. I am against either Michael Newman or Tony the Talking Clock. I don't give a fuck. Michael Newman wins. GG. Pixel, I have her against Big Band because they're robot cyborg people helping to save the day, and they do have a detective kind of thing, as Pixel was a detective for a good part when the ninjas and all that were in a Prime Empire, when they were in Prime Empire in season 12. And Big Band's a detective, just normally. Or I have Genji, because Pixel is the new Samurai X. I like it. Her Genji gets C level because of the whole Wrecking Ball thing, but I don't think the speed's enough to help him. And I know Big Band's like a large ability to multi-city block, so I think Pixel mayonnaise of both of them, Genji having some struggle. But I don't remember the Wrecking Ball thing very well. For Kozu, I have one of Unaga's soldier guys. I give up here. Both indestructible Stone Soldier Army members. For Cryptor, I have the Ultron from the MCU. Both are robots cloned off of one of the main robot characters. Ultron being a clone, basically a clone of Jarvis in the MCU, until he got his own robot form. And Cryptor being a clone of Zang's design. I'm not sure how good the MCU scaling gets for Ultron, but I think it might be. I don't think it's enough to beat Cryptor. Then I have Mercenary Tao because ninjas, robots, all that stuff. I don't think Mercenary Tao wins either. I don't think he gets to the city level King Piccolo stuff, and I don't think even his appearances in Dragon Ball Z help him. I have Asphira, a mummy snake person from season, season 11. I have her against Scorpion King, I don't know who wins, or Mumra, I also don't know who wins. If they get anywhere near city level, and, FTL, they can probably beat Asphira, but her staff in the Forbidden Scroll Spinjitzu does increase her strength and give her, some BFR. The Ice Emperor, which is the other thing I was talking about, that's where Elsa comes in, but she gets disposed easily, so I'll move on to the one that I have written down, which is Esdeath, both rulers, Ice Empire. I like the banter between the two that could possibly happen, because the Ice Emperor is more confused while fighting and always talking more serious, as Esdeath is just it's Esdeath. I think the fight could be really cool. The ice and all the snow and all stuff that could happen as the Ice Emperor covered an entire world in a cold in a wind so cold that fire needs to be large and lit for several years to be able to stay alight. I don't know who wins between Esdeath and the Ice Emperor. I'm pretty sure Esdeath might be stronger, but Ice Emperor has BFR. I like this fight. It's probably my second favorite Esdeath fight. Another one is Fugidove, which is where this is where people may be thinking, where does Dan come in? And he shouldn't be there with Dareth, right? Well, Fugidove is where I'm gonna put Dan Hibiki. Both are really goofy without much martial arts training. I don't think Fugidove gets any of the good scaling like anyone else. Kruncha and Nuckal get more of the good scaling than Fugidove does. I don't care who wins, I want the fight to be funny, and I want the death to be an accidental death, so that'd be really cool. Because there's not a lot of that in Death Battle. Unagami, he's basically a guy who controls the game world. I have him either against Parzival. I think he pretty much defeats Parzival, or because basically he's the main villain in a game world, while Parzival is the main hero. Good, I like that. Or Unagami versus this guy from Sword Art Online. They're both villains controlling the game world. Yeah. I also would like the death to be either the main guy of SAO beating him, Unagami, he takes the helmet off, but it's stuck on him, so Unagami actually hacked in and crushes his head in, or whatever the death trap in SAO does. But yeah. Or Unagami entering the real world to just crush him. Skull Sorcerer. He's a very kind of simple character for the most part. He's a guy possessed by evil, trying to keep his homeworld busy and kept powerful with money by having these ancient civilization people, mine stuff for him so he could sell it for good profit. So I have him against Skeletor. The banter would be really funny. Skeletor yeets. And for the last one, I was thinking of He-Man for this man, but I thought, hey, wait a minute. What about another He-Man knockoff? Korgran. He's an adventurer who's gonna work for the Skull King to get the skull for him, which he does get in stop. It's the skull that makes the Skull Sorcerer evil. This is before the Skull Sorcerer, but whatever. And then he gets strapped down, beats Skull Sorcerer and his army with the help of the ninjas. But he's basically a He-Man wannabe. So who's another He-Man wannabe that I really like? Zorn, from Son of Zorn. I remember Zorn had vaguely having some really good Starlo feat or something, but I don't remember that at all. I haven't seen the show, like, in a long time. So I don't care who wins. This is where I come in and say Korgan does have a legit storm feat of his own of just beating someone, raising his axe that totally doesn't talk, and creating a storm in like 2 seconds. It's great. But yeah, that's my fight for Ninjago, basically. Sorry if there are some characters that you didn't like, so sorry all of you fans of Kreis. But that's been happening. Definitely stole this idea from Nemesis Biffly, do not tell them that. And yeah, have a good day. If you want an update on my own thing, then continue listening. If not, leave. It's over. But for Deathless, basically, blah 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 blah. Lloyd vs. Krager's being worked on. Lloyd's on. That's why this is being made. Krager's being worked on heavily. King Gibble vs. Mr. Hippo and Fallout Play vs. Jack. I just need the audio done, which I'm still waiting for the voice actors. My rant on King More is being edited also, which is, it's gonna be very long, very hardly edited, very edited, too. And that's all, so have a good day. See you later. Fuck off.